get ready with me while we talk about needlepoint. What got me started needlepointing? My father-in-law passed away in 2023 with pancreatic cancer. He was sick for 14 months before he passed. And so that was really hard on our family because my son was 3 and my daughter was 2, and they absolutely adored him. Less than a year later, my husband was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, which is apparently like the best kind of cancer to get. You know, you don't really care if it's the best kind, but it was a lot. It was like a roller coaster because his dad died in November of 2023, and then in September of, it was more like the end of August 2024, has been diagnosed with cancer. So that was a tough pill for my family to swallow. And my birthday is in September, and so my husband had his thyroid removed 3 days before my birthday. And so while he was at home recovering on my birthday, he looked at me and he said, I want you, you've been talking about this needlepoint stuff. I want you to go to the needlepoint store and I want you to get whatever you want. And I was like, say less. That is where the love began. What project am I currently working on? I rarely stitch for myself. I pretty much only stitch gifts. And so I just finished something for my sister. She doesn't know that she's getting, she had a baby in March. And so I always stitch something for people who have babies. I am stitching 2 colorways of my Chinoiserie Christmas. I'm doing the blue for my son. Blue is his favorite color. And I'm color swapping the red and green for pink and lime green for my daughter. And so I'll have to show you guys those when I finish because they look really good. I stitched the reindeer in alpaca and very velvet, and I'm loving how it has turned out. So that's what I'm currently stitching. All the products that I'm using today are linked in my Shop My under like my everyday makeup. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just getting ready for the day. I am almost out of this Tarte Shape Tape Creamy. I love this stuff. Like, I use it until it is gone, and I always rebuy. And just as a side note, as a teacher who starts doing her makeup at 4:15 a.m. every day, and then I don't take my makeup off until sometimes 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I need makeup that is gonna stay put all day. And I think I've cracked the code. How does needlepoint fit into my everyday life as a full-time teacher, full-time mom of 2 who is not only stitching but designing, painting and designing? Honestly, I just wait for my kids to go to bed. And I just tell myself, because I'm exhausted at the end of the school day, like being a teacher is exhausting. And I tell myself, I'm like, the grind doesn't stop. Like, mind over matter. You can do this. This is your dream. This is what you love. Don't let your 9 to 5 take away from what you love. Another question that I get asked a lot is, what app do I use to design my needlepoint designs? I use Stitchly, and I am in the process of learning Max Stitch. Max Stitch is very different, and I haven't had a lot of time or patience to sit down with it, but that's one of my goals for 2026 is just to become a little more like competent in Max Stitch so I can start designing in it. It's a little more sophisticated than Stitchly. I know Stitchly, I'm familiar with it. And so it's like, once you know something, it's like, plus Stitchly's fine. Stitchly works, but I think you can do a lot more with Max Stitch. And I think I'm at the point where I need to be able to do more. Another question I get asked a lot is, how did you get in with the Penny Lynn Collective? I had kind of, back in February of this year, I started an Etsy page where I was selling my charts. I sold the charts for my golf hats and for my Blue Danube plate and my Auburn designs. There was a couple of other things on there that I was selling. I hadn't started posting on TikTok yet, so it was like I was getting a few sales here and there. And I was in the process of designing my Chinoiserie Christmas. And I kept thinking, like, you know, I feel like I want to do this on a bigger scale than just charting and being on Etsy. But I also thought, like, there's no way I could keep up with painting all this myself. And we are a 2-income household and have to be a 2-income household. We're both teachers. So there wasn't an option for me to just, like, you know, take a chance on my needlepoint. So I was scrolling TikTok, and of course I follow Krista, the queen, and she had posted about the collective. And I was like, what is she talking about? The collective designers. How do I become a designer for them? And so I just went to their website, and there was a button that said, do you want to join? And I was like, duh. So I clicked the button and emailed Amanda, who is fabulous and wonderful. And we had a little Zoom call, and the rest was history. I get asked about my eyeshadow. This is the one makeup product that I will splurge on this. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Luxury Palette of Pops, okay? And it's this like sparkly beautifulness. This is expensive. For the most part, I use pretty affordable makeup, but I will spend on this. And you do not apply it with a makeup brush. You apply it with your finger. Go like this. I use the lightest shade first in the corner to like the midway point. Like, I even have friends of mine text me and they go, I saw your TikTok. Can you just tell me what eyeshadow you're wearing? Like, 2 separate friends have texted me. And then I take the pink and I do like the middle part of my eye, I overlap a little bit. I get the tiniest little bit of this, and I just get the corner. I kind of like swipe in. And then last, I go back in with this lightest shade. I kind of wipe my finger off. I go with this lightest shade. And I just do my brow bone. And I just kind of blend so I don't have such a harsh line. Why do you love needlepoint so much? Why is it all you can think about? And I'm sure Penny Lynn is like, why are you sending us so many designs? You just exploding with creativeness? The answer is yes. I can't turn my brain off. Can't stop thinking about my next design. My brain won't stop until I make it. I can't stop. One of my favorite products from 2026. Super fluff. How many projects do you manage at one time, like for stitching? I have a lot. My brain can't just do one. I love this mascara. It's my favorite. And here's a close-up of my eyeshadow.